Good evening, everyone. My name is Scott Lurie with F Street. I am super excited to be here with you tonight to go over part two of the X's and O's of real estate investing. For those of you that were able to join us for part one, appreciate your time. All of this is available on our channels, and this webinar this evening will also be recorded. Thank you to our current investors who are logged in and signed into today. If any of your friends or family have not been able to join, this broadcast will be available following tonight's webinar. So we'll be able to share that with everybody. A little bit about F Street. F Street is an alternative real estate firm. We focus on building long-term wealth for our investors through passive alternative investment income. We really focus on planting money trees. This is something that kind of resonated with me when I was a kid. I always wondered, hey, Mom, how do we do this? And my mom always said, well, the tree in the back, the money tree was outside. And I always was pretty enamored by the idea of money tree. Well, today, since I've been investing on behalf of our partners, the money tree really resonates. And I love to use the saying that we're planting money trees because we're doing exactly that. Whether we're building or buying ground up, multifamily or industrial, we are certainly producing money trees that should help create generational wealth, long-term generational income, and cash flow. So part of our theory is to keep planting these money trees, and we appreciate you and your interest in planting those trees. F Street is an alternative investment firm, as we discussed. We have really three arms to our business. We focus on multifamily and industrial. In both of those categories, we do acquisition as well as development. In the development category, we're building, and we build 3 to 5 projects every year in the industrial and multifamily category. And we also have a private debt fund. Last year, we raised $30 million, exceeding our goal of $24 million by $6 million. And 2025 is already off to a wonderful start with our continued pursuit to continue to raise and exceed $100 million in our private debt fund. So for some of you who have already had a chance to talk to people on our team, we've got an unbelievable small and mighty team. We are always conscious of making sure that we have the best talent that are working towards delivering the best projects and the best returns, the consistent returns. Communication and transparency is very important to us. Please meet our team. If you have any questions or want to talk to anybody, they're always available. A little bit about our portfolio. For those of you who are new, our portfolio is focused on, as I said, multifamily and industrial, ground up and acquisition. We've built the buildings on the left side. Those are all brand new within the last couple of years of ground up in Sheboygan Falls, Brown Deer, Coast, which is in Oak Creek, the Ivy Townhomes in Oak Creek. We've just started 2 new projects, one in Brown Deer, another project, as well as we started another project in Oak Creek. The properties on the right are ground, or well, some of them are our acquisition transactions where we've bought real estate for the purpose of investments. Our industrial portfolio, this is a portfolio I'm extremely proud of because, when you set a vision and goal, we have a wonderful partnership with, I believe they're elite, by Keller Construction. Keller has been our partner in all of our ground up development, and our pipeline for 25 and 26 looks strong. We've got an unbelievable team over at Keller that support us. We've done Southport Commerce 1, 2, 3. We just completed a Fortune 50 distribution center on a 10-year built-to-suit. If you get a chance to walk through the place, Nathan and his entire team did an outstanding job, and that'll be producing cash flow for the next 10 years to our investment group. We've got some legacy assets that we've acquired. We continue to buy industrial. We remain very bullish on industrial by way of cycles in our economic world, right? The way we buy goods has vastly changed and never going back. I will never go to a store to buy paper towels again. I'm sure, I don't know if any of you plan to go back to a store to buy paper towels. I will never go back to a store to buy paper towels. I buy all of my paper towels that come through some 3PL, which generally deals with Amazon, and some logistics company that delivers them to my front door. Matter of fact, I just ordered paper towels this morning, and they'll be delivered between 5 and 10 tonight. So the world has changed. All of those goods that get delivered to my door all reside in industrial buildings throughout the country. They travel our vast freeway systems and rail to get to us, and it is an unbelievable network that continues to grow. Obviously, Amazon being the leader, but there is a lot of people that play a very important role in all of the logistics, and we remain very bullish on those. We closed on Grainger. Grainger is an acquisition of a company that builds OEM axles for the RV industry. We just bought that in Grainger, Indiana, 197,000 feet. We've got a bunch of new deals coming your way in the immediate near future by way of ground up, as well as acquisition of industrial deals that we're really excited to share with you. So a little bit of overview. We've got 1,392 units under management right now, $230 million. We have 2.5 million square feet of industrial. We'll probably add 2 million square feet to that number in 2025. And our commercial space sits at about 615,000 square feet. We don't intend to grow the commercial side, but industrial multifamily should have material growth over the next 2 years. So the X's and O's, right? Everyone talks about investing. I've been an investor and doing investing on behalf of others through our syndications for almost 15 years, something that I have a tremendous passion for. It's always nice to get W's and share those with our investors and let them see the W's by way of returns and cash flow and generation wealth and depreciation. And so we do all of that through investing, through the X's and O's, and we'd like to kind of discuss a little bit more about that. So when you talk about becoming an informed investor, you're here tonight because you either are interested in learning what we're doing, you have dollars to invest, or you're already invested with us and wanting to learn more. And that to me is unbelievable, right? You're here, you don't unfortunately learn investing in school. There is no real good way to learn it other than actually the doings, right? So a lot of us are traditional and customary to saying, I have a 401k or an IRA, and I put it in some fund that I have no knowledge about. And in that no knowledge about result, I pay fees. And I'm hoping over the next 25 years before I retire, my number goes up so I can retire and have tax deferment along the way. Makes all the sense in the world. We like to challenge the norm, and we like to push the investor to be an informed investor, to understand that you, the investor, can do better. You have to get out of your box. You got to find your comfort zone, and we totally understand that. So informed decision, learn how to assess the opportunities, right? We want you to understand when we start talking the jargon that we talk, it's jargon, right? When you go into a surgery center and a doctor starts saying, bring me all these crazy things, we don't know what they're talking about. But in investing, we want you to understand what we're talking about. And when you understand what they're talking about, you can understand the essential concepts like depreciation. What is a TIF? How does it impact your return? What are IRRs, etc.? Knowing those things gives you the chance for a better outcome, right? Using your knowledge to identify the offerings to align with your goals and take advantage of potential tax benefits. They always tell you that if you can figure out this, you can be one of the greatest investors out there. How many people are very tired of paying taxes? Me, I am. I hate paying taxes. Real estate allows me to defer my income by way of buying real estate and not having to pay tax through what we call a cost segregation study or accelerated depreciation. And when we recapture, we're recapturing at a less number than my income. So if your income as a tax benefit is 42%, let's just say you're at the highest tax bracket, you have 42%. As a passive investor, if I can depreciate the heck out of that, of your investment, and then you recapture at recapture 25%, you're improving your position by 17% by simply doing nothing except being an investor. We'll talk more about that. So becoming an informed investor should allow you to build your confidence, evaluate critically, and align your goals. What are your goals? I think all of our goals are to have as much money as possible and as much free cash flow as possible when we choose to hang up our towel, whatever that towel is. I want to stop being a doctor. I want to stop practicing law. I want to stop being a professional, whatever that is. I want to have cash flow to be able to live my life. God bless you. We agree. So key concepts that we discussed, these are terms we've gone through, right? The ones that are highlighted are really I would say, some of the important ones, but depreciation is the number one. Cost segregation studies is the number one. If you already own real estate as your family and you're looking for a tax deferment, a 1031 exchange, tax benefits are important. We look at TIFs. TIF is a pay-go, which just means it's as you produce, you receive. We have all of these other concepts, right? You should know all of these concepts. You just want to understand what they are. How many people have IRAs? Is it self-directed? If it's not, why? Why are you not controlling your destiny? Why are you letting Wall Street control your destiny? They do not have your best interest in mind. I promise you that. All right, understanding what cap rates are, the impact of rising interest rates. We've been talking about rising rates. The 10-year continues to go crazy. What happens when the United States continues to print money? What's going to happen to our dollar and our credit and our risk exposure? God, it keeps me kind of up at night. Been sleeping good lately, but it does keep me up at night. So depreciation benefits. This is really the power. All investors that are investors today need to understand that you're a passive investor. Okay? There's no way around passive investments. You as an investor are passive. There is zero way around it. The laws have prevented you from becoming an active investor, and the reason is, there's a lot of reasons, but the number one reason is the distinction between passive only allows for passive losses to offset passive gains. So it's an equation, passive, passive, right? So you can't take active losses for a passive investment if you're not active. And when I say active versus passive, you, the investor who have some other job doing something else, whatever that is, whether you're an owner of a company, you're an attorney, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, whatever it is, you are a passive investor. And that qualification, that litmus test is very, very, very stringent because the government wants you to be passive. And the passive laws allow you to depreciate your investment down to what they call your basis. So if you make a $100,000 investment, the maximum I can give you in depreciation is $100,000. For an active investor, you can go beyond your basis through other means. But as a passive investor, to keep it pretty high level tonight, you can only depreciate down to $100,000. So that write-off allows you to write off your income up to the same number. So if you start planting those money trees, you can then start having depreciation and income that is tax-free because of your depreciation schedule and your income schedule. So tax sheltering, deduct property value over time to offset the investment. You have enhanced returns, improve after-tax cash flow by lowering your tax liability or reducing it to zero. And then passive investments benefit from the depreciation without you having to touch the management. We do everything, and you just get the depreciation number as a passive investor. Depreciation as a growth strategy. Depreciation doesn't just save you money, it amplifies your ability to reinvest, 100%. You have a power to take your depreciation. So long as you have enough dollars to invest, once you depreciate your first $100,000, what should you be doing? Year one, year two, year three, year four, year five. You should be making the same investment. I'm just going to say 100 just to be social and brief here. But if you invest $100,000 every year, I can give you $100,000 of loss every year. This project won't start paying cash until year three. This one, year four. This one, year five. Well, the nice part is once you stay in the cycle of investing, your depreciation is going to offset your passive income, and you're not going to pay any income on your returns. That helps you long-term wealth creation, generational cash flow, and appreciation that is part of the transaction. We, as a partner of yours, as a strategic partner, will structure the deals to maximize your investors' depreciation benefits every single time. Without question, you don't have to ask, we're doing it. We know the power of this tool, and we're making sure it's done for you and every single investor that invests with us. How do we do it? We do it through what they call a cost segregation study. On ground up deals, it's called the 179D. But in general terms, it's a cost segregation study. We take the building, we break it down to its least common denominators, and instead of saying everything is a 27.5 to 39-year depreciation number, we accelerate that number to a 5 to 15-year value. We use Whipfly, which is a local, large, national accounting firm that does our cost segregation studies that are valid, and they have great reporting that allows us to provide those to the IRS as part of our cost segregation study that allows us to depreciate. They go down to the lighting, the flooring, the paint, the HVAC system, and every single piece of a building that we either are building or we are buying that already has gets depreciated under an accelerated depreciation schedule rather than just lumped into the long-term depreciation. So if you think about it, if you build a building for $20 million and all of it goes on a 27.5-year depreciation schedule, you get 1/27th of $20 million. If I break the building down and $10 million of it can be accelerated over 5 years or 7 years or 10 years, I'm increasing your depreciation from the front, and in year 1, we get a much larger depreciation number. Same with year 2 and year 3, but year 1 savings is material. How does the cost segregation study work? Here you go. $1 million property, $200K in land, $800 in the building. At 39-year depreciation schedule, you would write off $20,000 a year, right? Do the math. It's pretty easy. With the cost segregation study, here's the building. Here's the interior finishes, the fixtures, the land improvements. The first year depreciation is $50,000. A massive improvement. Bonus depreciation lets you write off 60% of the eligible costs in 2024 and 40% in 2025. For now, we'll see what happens. We have a new chief in town, and the new chief has some vested interest in real estate and might or might not be promoting a more accelerated depreciation schedule. So what is a TIF and a PAYGO TIF? How many people understand TIFs? Most of you probably don't. A TIF is simply a tax increment financing piece. This is done by municipalities that we use, whether it's an industrial or a multifamily deal, we use TIF. We go to the municipalities and we ask them for a TIF, a tax increment financing. Most of them always tell us that they will require us to do a PAYGO, which means if we build a building that is worth $30 million, they will give us X amount of years. Usually it's somewhere between 5 and 20, whatever, I think it's 20 years, 19 years of the total project. So you can get the tax savings and an unlimited tax savings value. So if you were to underwrite a building that had a $30 million assessment, and let's just say that was $400,000, and let's just say the city said, okay, we will give you a TIF, a PAYGO TIF, and we'll give it to you for 10 years. They're giving you how much? You got it. 10 years, $4 million. So for $4 million every single year, I have to pay $400,000 in tax, and they give me back the $400,000 in tax. So my tax bill, which is really important and an important cash flow number, $400,000 a year of taxes that I normally would have to pay, I don't have to pay. I don't have to do that for 10 years. Now, in the 11th year, I have to pay it, and usually developers like us would be out of that deal at that time. Or in 10 years, rent will catch up so that we are not missing what would be the $400,000 a year of income. So reduces the tax liability. It's a but-for incentive. TIF was created but-for. But-for your support, this deal would not happen. That benefits community, benefits the development. And all of these are aligned by the communities that support us. In Oak Creek, supportive. In Germantown, for our industrial, supportive. In Brown Deer, supportive. In Janesville, supportive. La Crosse, supportive. Milwaukee, for those of you that live in Milwaukee or hear about Milwaukee's nonsense, there is a massive uproar right now about TIF. To be continued. Benefits of ground-up development. So the benefits are we obviously can get a pay-go TIF. So if you look at our investment opportunities that are available, we have pay-go TIFs in MF3, which is our multifamily Oak Creek. You'll see a TIF that's part of it. And was part of the overall development. We got a massive TIF to lay infrastructure in place. In Brown Deer, we just completed an $11 million raise and are already well under construction. We got a very nice TIF in Brown Deer. In West Bend, that's almost coming online. Our first unit should be next month. We already received our TIF. The TIF allows for a stronger financial return to the investors, and it gives us a very, very predictable profit and loss statement or cash flow statement that we can identify so that we can pay our investors. 1031 exchanges. How many people, well, I don't know how many people we have here, but how many people have ever bought and owned real estate? When you go to sell it, a 1031 exchange is named after Section 1031 in the IRS code. It allows you to do what they call a like-kind exchange or a deferral of taxes. It delays or eliminates the capital gain tax by investing the boot or the proceeds into a 1031 exchange, which is through a bona fide party, third party, and then you have to place that money into another piece of real estate. So we're doing one of these right now for one of our legacy investments where we bought a building, we're selling the building. Instead of paying gains on the $13 million of profit, we're deferring those into a 1031 exchange and buying new real estate. That means our investor, once again, we're always worried about our investor does not have to pay any tax. They get a better asset. Instead of us starting with what was a $17 million asset, now we're going to have $60 million of real estate in the portfolio. We're already going from 17 to 60. And in 5 years, we might go from 17 to 60 to 100. So always stepping up in our positioning, and our investors' cash flow continues to go up. And then you'll hear a lot under 1031s like kind. Similar in use, real estate is real estate. Investment real estate is investment real estate. You can go from multifamily to industrial, but investment real estate is investment real estate. The 1031 process is a little bit complicated because it's under a time constraint. You have 45 days from the time you close on the sale of your property that you want to exchange to identify the potential replacement. You have got a chance to identify 3 properties. And then you have 180 days to close on that sale. And you must use a QI, or qualified intermediary, and we use a lot of these people down here. First American is one of the largest in the country, but there's a lot of other parties that do 1031 exchanges. So bringing it all together, depreciation, big number. Think about depreciation as your investment on steroids. TIF, think about your improvement of cash flow. And 1031 thinks about it as a deferment. So we will be investing today, and an investment today might yield a 1031 exchange in 5 or 7 years. The tax efficiency, each strategy reduces your taxes. The more money you have, because the less tax you have to pay, the more money you have to invest, the more money you invest, the more cash flow you're going to have, the better off you and your family will be from a generational wealth, generational cash flow standpoint moving forward. Portfolio growth. When we combine all these tools, we can start with a $17 million, really good writing, $17 million asset today. So in 2022, I bought this, 12 of 2022. I'm selling it, call it April. So we're going to say 4 of 25 for $30 million. I'm buying 2 properties that equal $60 million. When I say our investment group, I am doing it on behalf of our investment group. So think about it. 2022, I had $17 million asset. I'm selling that $17 million asset for $30 million. And now that investment group is going to have $60 million of real estate all in 2.3 years. Amazing. Oh, I forgot to mention. No tax. We're paying zero in tax. Zero. Not a dollar. That should resonate to say, I want to be part of those transactions, because that is the aha moments. So, sorry to mess this up a little bit. Portfolio growth, combining these tools will help you. We use all of these tools together all the time. We build long-term wealth, and we're always reducing our tax. If I can put everybody in a scenario where we go from $17 million of assets to $60 million of assets, and we pay no tax, zero tax, all through the IRS code, we pay no tax. How amazing is that? There was like a way to do a mic drop. I think I would do it, but I don't have one. Okay, anyways, my jokes are not that good either. Sometimes they are, actually. I actually think I'm kind of funny. Okay, so open opportunities. We're going to run through these quickly just so you can understand. 2025 is going to be a really great year. We've got ground up multifamily that we're doing. We're going to have some industrial deals that are forthcoming. My pipeline right now for value add industrial is going to be over 1.5 million square feet of industrial in the next, call it 45 days. We've got unbelievable opportunities in front of us. So phase 2, MF3, here you go. Here's the scenario. It's based on a 4-year hold, essentially, but a cash-on-cash return of 8.75, 1.875 multiplier. We're getting ready to get started. 8% preferred return, 65-35 favored to the investor. This is another really nice piece of real estate. If you are an investor, this is a good piece of real estate to have in your portfolio. Industrial acquisitions. We are targeting 12 high potential properties, as I just mentioned to you. We will be delivering unbelievable returns in the industrial category in 2025 and 2026. I don't know what's going to happen after that, because that's too far away, but we remain very, very bullish. We just closed on this deal in December. And here's the cash flow. Cash on cash return is only going one direction. Starting at 8.8, going to 11.29. Distributions have already started. We closed in December and we distributed in December. Think about it. You already made your investment. You're already getting cash flow. Private debt fund. We raised $30 million on a $24 million goal. We're ahead $6 million. We're having a blistering, already blockbuster start to 2025. People want a 10% return. This fund is so simple. Here it is, 10% return. I can't tell it to you any easier. We pay you 10%. People are jumping into this fund because it gives them predictable cash flow. We've never missed a payment now in 16 years. We pay out monthly if you choose the monthly option. We also do have another option, which is to compound. If you're looking to supplement your lifestyle and it costs you $10,000 a month to live, invest $1.2 million in the fund, I'm going to pay you the $10,000 a month. Your principal stays. You can live your lifestyle without ever eating into your retirement dollars. Here it is, steady, 10% return. I don't know if I like this bubble font, but 10% return looks fine. 10%, we pay you 10%. We charge our investors 15%. It's all secured by first lien on real estate. We have over 500 active loans. And we're profitable. You want to do business with people that are making money, we make money. So long as we're making money, it's easy to pay you, right? If we're not making money, it's hard to pay you. But we always make money. Have for 15 years, 16. How it works. Put in 100 grand, $1.2 million, whatever you want. We pay you $833 a month. Pay to the last in the day. You get a 1099 INT at the end of the month, at the end of the year. And once your investment has been seasoned for 12 months, you can call it at any time you want with 90 days notice. You want liquidity, this is the ultimate liquidity investment. So, earn your badge. We are a 506C under the SEC, so we do require third-party accreditation. If you are accredited, an accredited investor, the SEC requires us to go through the third party. We follow and comply with all of their rules and regulations. You too can do that. We pay for it. It's free. I thank you for your time. Let's invest together. If anybody has any questions, I'd love to take them right now. I'm always thankful for you joining in tonight to listen to our webinar. We love having our investors part of it. I see some of our investors that are already investing. We have some investors that are contemplating investments, and we have just some people that are interested in what we're doing. So thank you for being part of F Street. Let's continue to invest together. Let's keep planting those money trees. And once again, my name is Scott Lurie with F Street, and I'm grateful for you being here tonight. I wish you a wonderful evening. Stay warm because it's freezing here in Milwaukee.